Naruto and Sasuke lay in the dirt, pain rippling through them. Sasuke's Chidori and the One-Tailed sphere of sand collided, sending both boys flying into the earth. The blonde was certain some of his bones were broken. He could barely lift his head to look at Sasuke a few feet away, splinters of destroyed trees covering his body. The curse mark had deactivated, meaning the blast had knocked Sasuke unconscious. Naruto looked at himself, dozens of holes covering his torso. Naruto! The blonde shakily turned his head to see Sakura and Karin running towards them. His cousin knelt at his side, Sakura running over to Sasuke. Naruto, bite my arm quickly, Karin insisted, rolling up her sleeve. The blonde could make out the hundreds of teeth marks covering his cousin's arms. They began at the wrists and traveled up into her torso. No, I can't do that, Naruto said hoarsely. You've suffered enough in the hidden grass. Don't worry about that, Karin insisted. You're suffering now. Naruto wasn't in the condition to refuse. Karin slowly lifted his head, his teeth sinking into her skin. It was sickening to defile his own cousin in such a way. But, slowly, he felt his wounds close up and his energy return. After a few seconds, he was able to stand. He looked over to Sasuke. Sakura knelt over him, using her medical ninjutsu to heal his own injuries. He'll be alright, but I can't wake him up and risk him opening the wounds. Naruto looked up at the One-Tails as it slowly crawled towards the group, the trees flattening in its path. Naruto gritted his teeth. Karin, Sakura, take Sasuke and get back to Haku and Shikamaru. They should have Temari and Kankuro restrained. What are you gonna do? Sakura asked. Whatever it takes to save Gaara, Naruto replied, flashing through hand signs. Naruto flew into the air with soul speed, the One-Tail staring at him with wild eyes. Naruto drew blood and swiped it across his palm, an array of seals forming mid-air. Karin, Sakura, and Sasuke were consumed by smoke as a toad rivaling the One-Tails emerged from the cloud. Well, this is a fine mess you summoned me to, kid, Gamabunta grumbled. You know I'm weaker than that thing, right? I know, Naruto admitted, but I need you to stall it. And what do you plan to do? Naruto grimaced. I'll need to use the fox's chakra if I want to stand a chance. Gamabunta nodded solemnly. He knew how much Naruto hated to say those words. Naruto jumped off the toad's back, Gamabunta drawing his blade to face the Tanuki. You think you stand a chance against me, frog? The sand beast taunted, unleashing a barrage of wind bullets. Gamabunta smirked. No, but the kid asked me to stall, and I intend to do so. The toad boss slashed through the wind, the two giants beginning a fierce battle. Karin and Sakura witnessed the forest around them being torn up. They knew there was nothing more they could do for now. Sakura lifted Sasuke onto her back, Karin following her as they ran for Haku. A moment later, and they found the Yuki tying up Gaara's siblings. What's happening? She asked. Naruto is fighting the One-Tails by himself. He and Sasuke barely made a dent, but he still thinks he can win, Sakura replied. Haku frowned, feeling the earth rumble thanks to Gamabunta and the Tanuki. There is only one way Naruto will have the power to defeat a tailed beast. Another tailed beast. Sakura and Karin's eyes widened, realizing the truth of Naruto's words. He was going to do whatever it took to defeat the One-Tails. Naruto stood in front of the fox's cage, eyes cold as ice as the Nine-Tails came into view. Its orange fur swayed in anticipation, knowing why Naruto was here. Already running to me, are you? You're the only one who can give me the power to stop the One-Tails. If it means I can save Gaara, I don't care what you do to me, Naruto answered calmly. The fox grunted. You are an odd one. Even Mito and your wretched mother weren't willing to use my power, even if their life depended on it. Leave my mother out of this. You're the one who killed her, you know, Naruto snarled. The fox rolled its eyes. If you want to play the blame game, you won't be getting my chakra. After all, it's you humans who decided us tailed beasts needed to be caged. You've hurt hundreds of innocent people, only because you pests won't leave me alone. If you just stayed away from me, I would have no reason to attack you. Just take my chakra and stop talking to me. It gives me a headache. Naruto's eyes became crimson slits as the fox and the cage vanished, storing the demon's words for later. He opened his eyes in the real world, orange chakra seeping from his body. The blonde stood, activating soul speed. He shot above the trees, witnessing Gamabunta have his sword knocked out of his hand. Gamabunta, I'm ready! The toad jumped away from the tanuki, Naruto landing on him. That's the Nine-Tails chakra, alright. I managed to cut through the One-Tails a few times. Each time it took the two halves seconds to reconnect. If you separate its body into enough pieces and stop it from reforming, you might have a shot at helping that kid. Naruto nodded. Before you go back to Mount Miyaboku, I need all the water I can get to slow him down. Do you toads have a jutsu for that? Luckily we do. Just lend me some of that orange chakra and you'll have enough water to fill a lake. Naruto nodded, placing his hand on Gamabunta, chakra filling the toad. As the One-Tails barreled towards them, Gamabunta unleashed multiple jets of water from his mouth. The force behind them tore dozens of large holes through the beast's body, large explosions occurring a short distance away. That's all I can do, kid, the toad boss shouted, vanishing in smoke. Naruto began to fall, weaving hand signs as fast as possible, focusing all his chakra on the water Gamabunta had given him. He felt his body being pushed beyond its limits. Water style. Giant vortex jutsu, Naruto called out in agony. The water in the surrounding area was drawn into a sphere above Naruto's head, the One-Tail somehow covered by its shadow as its sand began to reform. Naruto threw his arm down, the water forming into a spiral that slammed into the tanuki. It let out a shrill scream as it felt itself erode away. Naruto fell to the ground with a boom. The beast still stood over the trees, swinging its arm to smash Naruto. The blonde was gone in an orange blur, dashing around the One-Tails with soul speed. Trees were thrown into the air, Naruto using them as springboards to plant dozens of explosive tags on the tailed beasts. He activated them, but they had little effect but sent the sand flying, only for it to be drawn back. Naruto cursed under his breath. He needed to win before it could get its water-filled sand to return. He landed, the One-Tails turning to bring its tail down on him. Scorch style, water killer! The pink fire and yellow sand collided, creating a burst of energy. Naruto's feet dug into the earth, the tailed beast crying out in pain. What the hell did you do to my sand? Naruto stared in shock. The sand that met his scorch style had turned to glass. It was impossible to see anything clearly through it, but it was glass regardless. Yet another thing scorch style can do, Naruto mused. An idea struck, Naruto concentrating the fox's chakra into his palm. Scorch style! Pink arrows! This time, the One-Tails was not playing games. The moment it felt a part of its body solidify, it was drawn into itself and shattered by the sand's pressure. Naruto growled, using soul speed to avoid the One-Tails' onslaught of sand and wind attacks. To top it off, the soaked sand was starting to shift, meaning the beast would be back to full strength soon. Naruto cursed again, creating a dozen clones. Each one attacked from a different direction, trying to find a weak point. But as each one was quickly destroyed, Naruto had nothing. But an idea popped into his head. Gaara was still visible atop the One-Tail's head. When it took over, it seemed like Gaara had fallen asleep. Perhaps, if he woke up Gaara, the tailed beast would retreat into the seal. Fire style! Flying Phoenix! Naruto circled the tailed beast as it continued its frenzy. Naruto was barely staying ahead thanks to the fox's chakra. He needed to get closer, but the One-Tail's entire body was a weapon. He needed to immobilize it if he wanted to win. Ice Style! Frozen Fortress! The ice was shattered moments before it could engulf the Tanuki. Naruto needed something stronger, but he didn't have anything else strong enough to prevent the One-Tails from moving. His Earth style wasn't refined enough to create bindings. Wind and Lightning style wouldn't work either. Scorch and Ice style were easily countered. Water could only delay him. He had no jutsu that could work. Damn it! Think, Naruto, think! There has to be a way to save Gaara. If he doesn't wake up soon, the One-Tails might drag him back into the sand. Wait, that's it! Naruto landed, retreating into his mindscape. I need more chakra, Nine-Tails. Seriously? I need your chakra to boil. The hell are you talking about, brat? I read up on Kekkei Genkai a few weeks ago. Boil style requires chakra. The stronger the chakra, the stronger boil style is. If I want this to work, I need all the chakra I can get. And you think asking me will get you what you want? I hate it just as much as you do, believe me. Think about it this way. The more chakra I ask for, the more the 8 trigram seal will weaken. The fox raised its head. Well, when you put it like that, take all the chakra you want. The orange aura thickened, Naruto gritting his teeth in pain and anger. He was easily using twice as much as he could handle, meaning he had to use it fast. He brought his fist back, channeling all the demonic chakra into it. He felt the chakra begin to heat up. He forced it to liquefy, steam escaping from between his fingers. He forced the heat to grow to the boiling point. Naruto's entire arm now coated with steam. Wind style! Soul speed! The One-Tails moved to crush the blonde, but he dodged the attack, flying towards the beast with his fist reared back. Boil style! Erupting propulsion fist! Naruto's fist was a white blur as he punched at the One-Tails. He connected with the yellow sand, feeling the boiling chakra burst out of him in a single second. He was launched backwards. As he flew, he could see that his plan had worked. The force behind his attack had blown away most of the One-Tail's body. Sand scattered within the cloud of steam created by Naruto's boil style. You've done it now, kid, the One-Tails shrieked, summoning a spiral of wind. Naruto channeled more orange chakra, punching the tornado away, dashing at the Tanuki. He needed to wake up Gaara. Wind style, soul speed. Boil style, erupting propulsion fist. He aimed his punch for the head of the tailed beast, blowing away enough sand to reveal Gaara's waist. The blonde landed, already sensing the One-Tails aiming a punch at itself. Naruto grabbed Gaara, pouring the last of the orange chakra into pulling him out. The redhead was free, and both were in the air, moments before the attack hit. They fell to the ground with a thud, Naruto feeling his arms snap. He looked over to Gaara, who seemed unharmed, besides the streak of blood from his head. I'm going to kill you, Nine-Tails! The One-Tails was still alive, though his sand body was quickly degrading. Once I get my host back, you'll pay for toying with me! The Tanuki summoned its strength, forcing what sand it could control to create a pillar, throwing it at the boys. Naruto tried to move, but his body was feeling the negative effects of the Nine-Tails chakra, as well as the use of boil style. His only option was to try and absorb the attack, which he knew was next to impossible. Ninja art! 5-pronged seal! Sakura was on top of Gaara in the blink of an eye, slamming her chakra-coated hand onto his chest. Gaara let out a gasp of air, the incoming sand stopping in its tracks. The One-Tails stared in horror. What the hell? It howled, the sand falling apart even faster. Did that little girl seriously just seal me? Naruto stared in shock as the sand fell to the ground harmlessly. A strange silence coming over the forest. Only the distant sound of battle could be heard. Naruto finally looked away from the sand, Haku and Karn running towards them. "Are you alright?" the Yuki asked. "I've got a broken arm and I'm out of energy, but otherwise fine." "Do you need me to heal you again?" Karn asked, reaching to pull up her sleeve again. Naruto stopped her. "I'll be okay. What about Gaara? How is he?" "Alive and mostly uninjured," Sakura reported. "He won't be able to use chakra for a day or two because of the seal I used on him. But he should wake up soon." Naruto managed to stand with Haku's help. "You planned to use that on me, didn't you?" Sakura couldn't deny it. Naruto smiled. "It's okay. Someone needs to be able to stop me if the fox takes over. I'd prefer to be you over almost anyone else." Sakura didn't know how to respond. All she could do was nod her head. Naruto was trusting her with the safety of himself and the village. Whether the seal she learned was going to be effective in the future, they could only hope. "We need to get back to the village," Haku stated. "Naruto and Sasuke need better medical attention, and Gaara, along with his siblings, need to be brought in. Perhaps the rest of the Hidden Sand will surrender once they see their Jinchuriki defeated." Shikamaru was already on his way back, with Kankuro and Temari in tow. The others nodded in agreement. Sakura carried Sasuke, and Karn took Gaara, Naruto limping behind them with Haku's help. As they moved, the sounds of battle continued in the distance. Most of the Sand and Sound Ninja had been defeated, and the snake summons were pinned down by a pair of toads. Naruto sighed in relief. If Jiraiya was here, things should be alright. "The barrier is still up," Sakura said with worry. Sure enough, the Hokage was still trapped by the barrier. They could make out a handful of Anbu still standing outside it, meaning they had yet to bring it down. Naruto cursed. "Haku, get the pervy sage." "Why?" "The Nine-Tails chakra is still heightening my senses. I know who's in the barrier with the old man, and it's not the Kazekage." Haku frowned. "Very well, I'll send a clone." Haku's clone dashed away as the group entered the stadium, seeing the Jonin and Shikamaru rounding up the enemies. "Good, you're all back in one piece, and with Gaara as well," Kakashi said as Karn laid down the boy. "Where's everyone else?" Naruto asked. "Your peers are with the civilians. You should get there too and receive medical attention." "Orochimaru is with the Hokage, isn't he?" Naruto asked. "How did you know?" Asuma asked. "You already know how. The point is that Orochimaru is too powerful. The old man is in trouble. Anbu are trying to breach the barrier as we speak. Besides, Orochimaru has never been able to defeat Lord Third, even when he was clouded by his emotions." Naruto glared at the Jonin, turning when he heard the shout of one of the last few Sound Ninjas still fighting. His hand darted up, releasing a single bolt of pink fire. It struck the man's arm. The limb shriveling up as steam rose from it. He fell to the ground screaming in pain. "I used that attack on Orochimaru's entire body during the second phase of the Chunin exams. He brushed it off like it was nothing, so don't tell me the old man isn't in danger." Kakashi and the others frowned. Even if Naruto's words were true, none of them could bring down a barrier. Even the Anbu appeared to be helpless. Haku turned, sensing her clone burst, regaining its emotions. "Lord Jiraiya is on the way." "Naruto, he needs you and Gaara to help." Naruto nodded, turning to Kakashi. "Sorry, but we have to take him. He's the One-Tails Jinchuriki. He's dangerous," Kurenai blurted out. "Sorry, Kurenai-sensei, but I'd rather get in trouble for this than let you get near him," the blonde said, not even glancing at the woman. She was taken aback as Karn followed the two with Gaara in tow. Sakura watched them leave before running towards the medical team with Sasuke. The group arrived at the barrier seconds before Jiraiya, the Anbu looking to them with surprise. "Step back, boys," Jiraiya ordered. Get ready to capture the 4 sound ninja controlling the barrier. The Anbu nodded, vanishing from view. Karin laid Gaara down, Haku inserting a senbon into his neck, channeling a small amount of ice chakra through it. Gaara's eyes snapped open, immediately feeling his body, relief washing over him as he felt no sand. His head tilted to Naruto. "Did you stop the One-Tails?" "With some help," Naruto answered with a smile, which quickly faded. "But me and Pervy Sage need your help." Gaara looked at the barrier. "You're referring to my father, or rather, my father's impersonator." "You knew it was Orochimaru?" "No, but I do know my father's chakra. When he sent us for the Chunin exams, I knew he wasn't our father." "Why didn't you say anything?" Gaara blinked. "Because I was happy my father was dead." Naruto and Karin were shocked, but both quickly understood where he was coming from. The Kazekage was the reason Gaara was like this. He'd sent assassin after Gaara. Gaara had every reason to take pleasure in his death. "Regardless, we need the One-Tails to break this barrier, as well as the Nine-Tails." "What for?" Karin asked. "This barrier is unique. It requires Senjutsu chakra to make it as strong as it is." "Senjutsu? What's that?" Naruto asked as the sage began writing seals onto a scroll. "Senjutsu is also known as natural chakra. I'll explain it in better detail later. The point is that tailed beast chakra is made from natural chakra. Only natural chakra can counter itself. From what I can tell, the 4 shinobi creating the barrier each have curse marks, which have trace amounts of natural energy. If all you need is natural energy, why can't you use it yourself?" Gaara questioned, standing up with Naruto's help. "It takes years for someone to master the use of natural chakra. Even Orochimaru hasn't mastered it. All he can do is force it into his curse marks. The tailed beasts are easy sources to use." Naruto nodded. "If it will help the old man, use the fox as much as you want." "I will help as well," Gaara said, looking to Naruto. "Consider this my first act of friendship. You did defeat me, after all." Naruto smiled, looking back to Jiraiya as he finished the seal. He ordered them to raise their shirts. The boys did, Naruto's 8 trigram seal appearing. A less intricate version formed on Gaara's stomach. Jiraiya placed his hand on the seals, twisting the seals open. The boys felt their bodies convulse violently as a wisp of orange chakra was pulled out of them. Jiraiya created a clone, which immediately closed the seals as the real sage began to take down the barrier. "Gaara, I'm going to place a stronger seal on the One-Tails. This should lessen or fully remove the negative effects caused by the demon. Are you alright with that?" Gaara nodded, the signing weaving hand signs. "Karin, can you help me out with this?" Karin hastily stepped forward. "I just need you to channel chakra into his seal until it activates." Karin nodded, placing her hands over Gaara's stomach. He and Naruto fell to the ground from the pain as Jiraiya completed his preparations. He placed one hand on the scroll and another on the barrier. After what seemed like an eternity, a small gap formed in the barrier. It quickly increased until the barrier had disappeared. The Anbu moved immediately, but the ninja creating the barrier were already gone. Jiraiya dashed towards the Hokage and Orochimaru, Haku helping Naruto along behind him. "Reaper Death Seal!" Jiraiya froze in shock, the Genin behind him coming to a halt. Orochimaru and Hiruzen were in a deadlock, the Hokage pulling at a ghostly aura coming from the former Sanin's chest. On the ground was the Monkey King, Enma. They couldn't see anything behind the third, but they could sense it. Death. "Looks like your favorite student is here to watch you die, Sarutobi-sensei," Orochimaru snickered. Hiruzen glanced at Jiraiya, Naruto, and Haku, gritting his teeth. Jiraiya didn't speak, his eyes wide in disbelief. Naruto and Haku stood frozen, Orochimaru's ki coming off in violent waves. Hiruzen was panting heavily, all his energy focused on pulling the blue aura from his former student. Jiraiya woke from his shock, flashing through hand signs. His hair sharpened, flying to decapitate Orochimaru. But before he could reach, 4 Sound Shinobi appeared at his side, all with curse marks. Jiraiya's chakra spiked alongside his ki. He was midway through hand signs when he heard the one sound that haunted every shinobi. The sound of a blade stabbing through flesh. A sword was embedded in Hiruzen's chest. Enma wasn't able to hold back the blade. Kusanagi, his hand bleeding profusely. Hiruzen barely registered the pain, focusing the last of his energy on Orochimaru. "You don't have enough chakra to take my soul, Sarutobi-sensei. Your sacrifice will turn out to be fruitless," Orochimaru sneered. Hiruzen smirked. "Maybe not, but I'm not dying without taking something from you." Hiruzen glanced up at the entity above him. The Reaper drew its blade, slashing through the ghostly figure the Hokage pulled from Orochimaru. A pair of arms flew into Hiruzen's stomach, a seal forming as the Reaper vanished. Orochimaru stared with fear as he felt his arms scream. The rest of his soul was intact, but his arms had been consumed by the Reaper. "You fool! I can't focus chakra through my hands! Sound 4, gather our shinobi. We're leaving." Orochimaru and his underlings vanished in a burst of smoke. Jiraiya was at the Hokage's side immediately, holding his thin body tightly. He barely held back tears. "Jiraiya, promise me you'll make Naruto a Chunin and tell him the truth about his past," Hiruzen asked hoarsely, life draining from his eyes. Jiraiya nodded. "I will, sensei." Hiruzen smiled. "I suppose I'll be leaving things in your hands. I've already recommended you as my replacement, despite knowing you aren't fit for it," the Hokage chuckled. Jiraiya smiled. "Maybe Tsunade will be interested." Hiruzen grinned. "That would be nice. You know, after being Hokage for so long, it's kind of a relief my time has come. But I've left so many things unfinished." "You did more than anyone in this village could ask for," Jiraiya assured. "From now on, you can watch us from the pure world." Hiruzen grinned. "You know that's not where I'm going after using the Reaper Death Seal." The Sannin nodded grimly. "Say hello to Minato for me and his son then." Hiruzen chuckled as the last of his life drained away, his soul absorbed by the Reaper. "Goodbye, my student, and good luck, village hidden in the leaves." If you like what you just heard, consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified about new videos. If there's a part you've missed, then check out the entire playlist on screen. If you like this story, please share it with your fellow anime lovers. Any support helps a lot. That's all for now. This is Ninja Kai, disappearing in a golden flash.